Okay, so I'm one of the lucky ones. Alright guys, hope you're all doing well. Today I've got some news for you, including the season rank reset that's actually plaguing Division agents right now, and you kind of saw me at the start of the video. A little bit selfish, so I do apologise, but it didn't happen to me. I want to first look at an exotic cash reward, among other things to talk about, like the timer reset issue that's causing incredibly fast runs for the new leagues. If you enjoyed this one, drop a like down below, a dislike if you didn't, and let's begin. So that little clip at the start was, again, it was a little bit selfish, to be completely honest. I was kind of hoping that my season rank would have went down to 0 so that I could show you guys and be frustrated with it, although it really wouldn't bother me too much. If you haven't heard, lots of players logged in today after the maintenance to a reset of their season rank. This is of course unintentional and something the devs are currently working on, but it does feel like it's another thing to add to the very long list of bugs with this expansion, a very long list of stuff that the developers need to work on. I'm actually in the middle of scripting my review for Warlords of New York, and I'm currently in the part where I'm just talking about the good stuff in the game, you know, the content, but I'm in a very tough position because on one hand I think the overall content is great. They could be more, but it's great generally, and it deserves almost top marks. But on the other hand, I cannot ignore the vast amount of bugs that is simply making it unplayable for some people. Not just bugs, but exploits that are in the game due to lack of testing, essentially. The season reset must be so frustrating for anyone who hasn't made it to season rank 100 yet. I guess the silver lining is, if you did make it to 100 and then it's reset, you have the opportunity to get all the stuff again and a second chance at possibly some better rolls, especially on some important like the Coyote's Mask at level 35. I've seen that drop for a lot of people with fairly low rolls, so for these guys it's probably a good thing if they did get this season reset. And actually maybe it's something that the developers could offer. This is completely off script here, but maybe this is something the developers could offer. If you get to 100 but you want the opportunity to grind it again in order to have the possibility of getting better rolls, then maybe the devs could consider something in the game which would allow you to reset your season rank. I'm just thinking of this now, and maybe I'll add this in a future video, but yeah, maybe that could be a good thing. You know, I wish I had more good news though, to be honest though guys, but I suspect the devs will fix this problem soon, hopefully, and I would hope people will be awarded back their levels, although that's likely not going to happen. I'm not sure the devs track that sort of stuff. Next up, and let's talk about leagues. So league started today. As of me making this video, it's the 17th of March. It will likely come out on the same day. And this brings with it 6 new activities to sink your teeth into. There are 4 time trials, 3 of which are on challenging difficulty, and 1 that's heroic. And then you've got 2 other stuff where you have to burn outcast members or kill outcast elites. Each one of the 4 time trials will require you to complete activities in the time specified in order to increase their league rank, which goes all the way up to 10. You know, the more stages you go up, then the shorter the amount of time that you've got to complete that activity. An example of a 10 stage time would be Roosevelt Island on heroic in under 25 minutes. But what about if I told you that some people have already done Roosevelt Island on heroic, which again has to be done under 25 minutes for stage 10. They've done it in 7 minutes, under 7 minutes, actually 6 minutes and 58 seconds. You heard me right there, 6 minutes, 58 seconds. That's got to be, when I first saw this, I thought that's got to be some sort of cheating. I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure, you know, I couldn't run through that mission in 7 minutes if I was playing on story mode. In fact, I couldn't run through that mission if there were no NPCs whatsoever and I just had to run from one end to the other in 7. I probably could do that in 7 minutes, but you get my point. It's just not possible. So what could it be if it's not cheating? Well, it appears there might be a problem. I know, imagine that, a problem. It would appear that if you are running any of these missions during the time trial and rogue agents spawn, like they do sometimes in a lot of these missions, once you defeat those rogue agents, the timer actually resets and starts again. Now, most of the time, these rogue agents appear somewhere between the middle of each mission, so you've essentially wiped out the first part and you're starting again. This is what I suspect has happened here. Now, I could be wrong. It could be cheating, but I don't want to, say or allege that someone's cheating. What I think it is exactly this. I think it's the rogue agent issue. I've never actually tested how fast I could run any of these missions on story mode myself, but people are beating these 10-stage time trials by more than like 50% on Xbox for the DCD headquarters on challenging. The tier 10 time to beat is 16 minutes, and yet the current best time is 7 minutes 17 seconds. You need to go all the way to position 659 in the leaderboards before you find a time over 16 minutes. I'm kind of going on a tangent here because I'm making it sound like it's too easy, which I do think it is. Look, the rogue agent thing needs to be fixed as soon as possible because some people, whether they realise it or not, are just getting incredible times as a result of this issue. Sure, if you run into rogue agents, maybe the timer should be stopped or something like that because they do take far longer than the regular NPCs, but this is broken, needs to be fixed. Next up, and some people have already blasted leagues in a couple of hours, meaning they've been able to reap the rewards for the most challenging content in the game and only for the 1%. It sure seems like people are steamrolling these leagues. What I wanted to focus on right now was the exotic cash, which you get once you reach 54 stages, so that will require at least 5 of the activities to be completed fully, and then 4 stages from the 1 remaining. This image was uploaded to Reddit by user AeroHawk, and it shows the exotic they got from this cache. You can see it's the exotic holster. I don't actually have this yet because it's me. As you can see, this is a max roll, as it should be for reaching this milestone, but I wonder if it's a guaranteed max roll because I've only seen the 1 report on it so far. Please let me know if any of you guys can confirm or deny that in the comments, because again, I've not really seen anything about it. The exotic cache is iconic, I would say, and you know what? You'd think that it would be used a little bit more. I think it's a little bit underutilized here because you can only get it from leagues and global event rewards. What happened to the weekly exotic cache you got from the hardest content? Maybe it should be tied behind legendary difficulty and guarantee max roll exotics. I don't know. Again, I'm going off on a tangent here. I'm supposed to be reporting on this exotic cache and what you get from it, and I've done that, but I've gone off on another tangent. I do apologise, but this is what you can expect, guys. At least for right now, what you can expect is max roll exotic. So if you do want to get a max roll exotic, highly recommend that you grind out these leagues, which appear to be not too overly difficult. Heroic Roosevelt Island, it's going to be difficult regardless of whether you're in a group or solo, whatever, but really it's not going to be overly, it's not the 1%. So if any of you guys are thinking to yourself, well, I can't do these leagues because it's only for the 1%, which is what the dev said essentially, it's not for the 1%, and you can definitely do it. It might just take a little bit of time, which you don't have because it's time trials. Anyway, moving on. Last and possibly least, depending on who you are, I just want to briefly go over the maintenance notes from today so you guys know exactly what the developers fixed or didn't fix. So the maintenance notes start with, we are temporarily disabling the ability to reset seasonal manhunts to prevent lost progression towards a manhunt. This is a temporary solution while we're working on a more permanent fix meant to release later in March. Once the final fix is implemented, we will receive the ability to reset, or we will reactivate the ability to reset manhunts. Fixed a progression blocker where an NPC became stuck in the last stage in Castle Clinton. Fixed an issue that granted an incorrect number of specialization points per shade level. Fixed an issue where blue quality items drop from regular NPCs in the DZ regardless of player max level. I don't think they've addressed the blue and or possibly purple drops from heroic activities. Maybe that's for another day. Fixed an issue where players would gain multiple seasonal caches. This was something I actually reported on a couple of days ago where people were essentially, I would say, cheesing the system to get more seasonal caches, so they obviously fixed that one. Fixed an issue with seasonal cache rewards becoming contaminated if players leveled in the season whilst in the DZ, which again, guys, I will say about this one as well, is I believe that you can actually, if that happens, you can steal people's seasonal caches from them if you down them in the Dark Zone, but maybe that's been fixed now as well. Fixed an issue that prevented players from gaining seasonal XP from DZ activities. Very, very important. Fix an issue where enemy NPCs would disappear at the nest control point, halting progress at the defend stage. I've had that. That's annoying. Fix, great. Fix an issue that prevented completion of the nest control point on challenging difficulty. fix an issue that would cause NPCs to be stuck at spawn in various locations, fix some puzzle, reset issues on all hunter encounters, finally, because I've not been able to get any of really of my hunter mass due to that very issue. Fix an issue causing hunter encounters to give too many keys. If you receive too many keys, you won't receive new keys until your completed encounters match your amount of keys. And then it was updated, it was actually extended, and the updated patch note was fix an issue where players would become stuck in the infinite loading screen in the dark zone. And that again is perfect news, because the amount of times I go to the dark zone and I get stuck in that stupid infinite loading screen is so frustrating. So I'm really happy that that has been fixed. And I believe the issues with Stadia users, which, well, there's probably 5 maybe with Stadia users, I believe there was an issue with that as well. That's also been fixed as well. So there you go, guys. But that's it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this one. Tomorrow I will be, of course, covering State of the Game, so please look out for my recap video on that. If you haven't got notifications turned on, then please turn them on, and that way you don't miss it. If you haven't subscribed already, then please do, if you want to ensure that you see that video. I do it every single week, where I do a recap of State of the Game, so that you guys are completely up to date with what the devs are talking about and where the game is going. With that said though, guys, thanks for all of your support, and until the next one, Epic out.